Hey there, space scoundrels, Miss O Plays here, and this week I'm going to take you on a tour of my research labs here on the frozen plains of Oborum I. And this is another max budget build, so it's going to be quite a lot to see here. And I think the best place for us to start would be with ship services. Now, the backstory for this particular outpost might require a lot of people coming to visit this time, which is why we have these offices built into this nice small animal husbandry hab. We have a little station there to get those ship repairs done, a little office desk to take care of all of our visitors, a bounty payment terminal, which will be very important for reasons that will become clear soon, and then there's refreshment station so people can kick back and relax whilst they wait for their ship to be taken care of. Here we have some of the things that we have offloaded from the various ships landing in this port, and a fantastic view of the lake which inspired me to build this outpost here in the first place. And of course a contraband cache so we can keep those questionable materials that we're handling in this port safe, sound, and out of the wrong hands. There's my ship technician's desk with the little medical sample tray as a keyboard again, and of course some shelves that are well stocked with everything we could possibly need to help get those spacefarers on their way, should they need a little bit of help. Now sometimes when you're working on a really large build with a lot of habs and start moving things around and deleting things, you'll find you're left with a base without a top, which is what happened here to create this platform that I then used to create this industrial looking manufacturing alcove. And here again is that gorgeous lake and the lab that I built to extend way out into the water. Now when I was building this outpost, the thing I wanted to do most was experiment with taking individual structures like these watchtowers and reactors and build them in a way that looked like they were seamlessly part of the main structure. And while this doesn't really bring much variety or flavor to the inside of the outpost, it does allow us to make a more architecturally interesting looking exterior. Now the process for this involved a lot of trial and error. I started off originally with that one watchtower back there, and then began trying to position the habs so that they would line up well with the tower and that the corridors would kind of look like they were connecting it to the side, which we saw from the other end. Here's another happy little accident that was the result of those trial and errors of moving everything around, where we ended up with this permanently open doorway to the inside, which is kind of great because I can just boost pack inside the lab without having to worry about the stairs and airlocks to get in there. And that's pretty much most of the outside. There's a lot of structures, but they're built in such a way that the whole thing is very condensed. So let's look inside. And this would be the visitor's entrance. This is where all the people landing at that cargo pad we just passed will come in through. Also, we got the navigator desk there to keep track of all the comings and goings. Nice luxury couch for anyone who has to wait around. And then this really impressive looking air traffic control center here. We're a little bit more wary about the different people who are coming and going from this outpost, since some of the research projects are less than on the up and up. So, we need to make sure that the people landing are who we want to land, and if they're not, that we are ready for their visit. And that will bring us on through to the main office.
Huh? Sorry, I was lost in thought.
And this would be where we conduct business with any outside contractors and customers. We got a little bit of equipment out here to test that the things coming in are what they say they are, and for getting our exporters set up with everything they need to make their runs. As you can see, there's a little research center over here in the corner. We've got another bounty terminal and a mission board, and that's where all of our outside contractors can come to pick up any jobs they might want to run for us. Here's another one of those nicely decorated crew stations. We've got a little admin office tucked away here in the corner.
It's nice to see you.
Oh, hey Andromeda, nice to see you too. This is a pretty well-staffed outpost, as you might have noticed. And then over here in the corner is a little waiting area with drinks, magazines, all that good stuff. And that brings us into what I like to think of as the guts of this outpost. This is the central core that keeps everything running. This is a triumph, perhaps, of decorating with junk, because I maxed out the budget long before I was able to decorate a lot of the habs, including this one. So you might have noticed there's a lot of crates and other junk items used in place of buildable furniture. This large manufacturing machine here was brought in using the magic of the rug trick that I showed in the armillary tutorial from a few weeks ago. And I use this to make it look like there's a big kind of, mechanical core to this particular outpost.
It's always good to see a friend.
We are on an extreme environment, so it makes sense that it would take a little bit more to keep that running than on the other ones. That's what this core is about here. And it also breaks up the space really nicely, creating these sort of corridors and breaking up those square open spaces that we have in most of our HABs. And through here is our main laboratory. And what are we studying here in this lab? Well, we are taking a lead from the companion Danny Garcia that you can pick up in Neon from Euphorica, looking to see if there might be any possible benefits to humanity to be found in band mech research and controlled substances. And seeing that these two particular areas of research are not exactly legal in the settled systems, that is why we have so much caution at this outpost. And as you can see, I built different stations around this hab with various experiments going on and focuses of research. Here's some of those contraband mech cases and some prototype equipment dedicated to that mech research over here with some data slates and some computer terminals, as well as a nicely stocked set of shelves with yet more contraband cases there. And then over here is some of our botanical research. We've got some plant clippings and some plants there, along with the pharmacy lab, as we investigate the different properties some of the flora and fauna might offer on this planet. And then of course we have these bookshelves over here where we have all of these binders full of all our research, because research is only as useful as the documentation you make for it. And these bookshelves are actually more than just storage. They're part of an experiment I was doing to try and create some new makeshift walls inside this hab. On the one side we have the bookshelves, and then on this side we have some of those office dividers on top of the cabinets. And that gives them a bit more height, makes them feel a bit more like a wall. You can put shelves on there, wall saves, things of that nature. And I then blended the sides by creating these pillars using the pedestals from the display section. So it feels more architecturally sound than just the little dividers on their own. In here we've got a little bathroom because this lab is away from the rest of the building pretty far, and maybe our researchers would need to answer the call of nature whilst they're down here studying nature. So that's the lab. Let's take a look at some of the more residential parts of the outpost. I'm gonna come on back through this office and now take a right, and that will bring us into our maintenance area. Again, this is another decorating with junk situation. We got a lot of those crates, resources, boxes, things like that to decorate because not enough budget for the rest. Here we're using one of those hallway pieces again, but instead of a bathroom I made a little security office. Kind of felt like a good use for that. It's kind of cute, and security is tight in this particular outpost. We got some trash that might want to be taken out later because we generate a lot of that on something like this, especially when outside is not so hospitable. And want to come back down the stairs and into a maintenance zone. And here I use some of those basic tables from the build menu to create shelves that will take larger crates, like you can see there, because the standard shelves not really big enough for a lot of the things you might want to put on them. And here is that happy little accident from the inside. Here's the, I guess, window to the world. You can jump through that if you want to. We don't want to right now, but there it is. And just more storage shelves here, a little bit messier, and a spacesuit workstation, and you can see some of it happening over here on the table. We got some spacesuits, some rolls of polymer fabric, things of that nature there, and more storage before we go back upstairs and into the residential area proper. And we have a pretty large recreation room here because since this planet is inhospitable outside, you can't do a lot of outdoor activities, so indoor it is. Got a beer pong table, the darts board back there, and a lot of exercise equipment. And then you use one of these sort of mattressy things as like a yoga mat. Felt kind of cushy, might be good on the joints for that. Lots of weights, the usual. There's not a lot of different options for these exercise rooms, so a lot of it gets reused. unfortunately, and a pretty decent view of the outside there on that lake. So yep, that is our rec room. So let's check out how people are living. And it's something of an all-in-one situation for the living quarters on this particular outpost. We've got a small kitchenette area with a communal dining table, rather than a full mess hall, since space is always a premium on these uninhabitable planets. And the sleeping area too is nothing terribly fancy. We've got some crates where our crew can keep their personal belongings, and then some stuffies and games to kind of give the area some personality and make it feel a little more informal and a little less clinical. And then we have like a little lounge area with various magazines, lamp planters, and personal belongings again. Finally, the room that I'm maybe the most excited to show you guys, which is this bathroom. I managed to create these makeshift shower stalls, which I was quite proud of, and we'll be talking about more in an upcoming video. And these dressing areas using the supply shelves along with these benches, and they actually fit together quite nicely in tone and size to make it look kind of like a built-in situation. The sinks, as always, are higher than I would like. I am still trying to figure out how to make them lower, but I haven't managed it so far. And then, of course, these little individual toilet stalls with the toilet roll, also high plungers. And they offer a fair amount of privacy for everyone, especially since this is such an open and, very communal living situation. And that would be my research lab here in Oborum I. Hopefully you're walking away with some ideas and inspiration for outposts of your own. And as always, if you found this video in any way entertaining or helpful, please drop me a like and subscribe. And I'll be back again next week with more building tips and outpost tours. Till then, bye.